to another episode of Our Point of View. Hello, OPOV family. How are you doing, Miss Connie? How are you doing?
Hello, Mike. Hey, Mike. Hello, OPOV family. Great to be back. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yes. Today is going to be a special episode. We are going to be talking about entrepreneurship, and we're going to have two wonderful guests later on. One is the owner of Ship Black, a e-commerce shipping and education company, Mrs. Tiffany Townsend from Sugarland, Texas, and the other is Mrs. Corinthia Hawthorne from A Hair Business Services. She is going to be teaching us about generational wealth, and she is from Houston, Texas. So, Mrs. Overholm, Mrs. Connie, let's talk entrepreneurship. Like when you hear the word entrepreneurship, what do you think?
Well, when I hear the word entrepreneurship, I'm thinking ownership, like you own something,
Right,
like you started a business
right,
for the most part. But sometimes I think entrepreneurs don't necessarily start a business, but you inherit a business and then you continue to run that business. So, for instance, if my dad, God rest his soul, I wish he had us, started a Chick-fil-A chain, you know
right,
what I mean, a franchise, and then it would become my franchise, even though it's a Chick-fil-A franchise. I would be an entrepreneur in the essence that I'm now the owner of it, you
right,
know,
right,
or the other side of that would be my son who's a great tutor, and he started his own tutorial business, you know what I mean? And so now he goes out and he tutors children, high school, college, all from different levels, but he's a tutor, the business that he started from the ground up. So he's an entrepreneur in that business as well. So I think that it can happen for you either way, becoming an entrepreneur. That's how I would interpret it.
okay. And do you have any personal any businesses of your own that you started and whatnot?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, Mike, because yes, I do have a business that is called Evolve with Eliana. It's a life coaching business. I graduated from life coaching school last year.
Okay,
And so I have been doing life coaching. Some people call it therapy. I don't, because I tell people from the beginning, I'm not a therapist.
okay,
But you know what I mean? It all kind of ties in together when you're talking about helping people to evolve and to grow and to move forward in their lives. I think that all of them kind of tie together, but I am a life coach. And it's the funny thing is I really haven't even advertised it, Mike. It's really been by word of mouth
right,
that I've been gaining my clients, you know what I mean? And it's really been working for me. So I'm praying that eventually like that will be my baby. You understand what I'm saying? That my silent investor, which is where I go do my 9 to 5, would be that just my silent investor.
right,
You know what I mean? But however, I will
right.
build Evolve with Eliana Connie LLC along the way, and then eventually my silent investor will become my friend.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your backstory with Evolve Eliana Connie.
Well, the backstory to that is that I wasn't even a few years ago, I was doing a lot of just like Facebook lives talking about marriage and relationships and kind of, trying to encourage people through social media to stay married because I am an advocate of marriage. And so it kind of started from there. And my very good friend, how I even got started doing that was like one of my very good friends. She was like, you need to do a live on all this stuff because we talk all the time. She was like, you need to do a Facebook live. A lot of people don't even, they need to know your story. They need to hear what you have to say. And that's really kind of how I did it. And for a whole entire year, I mean, it was great. It was phenomenal. The response was phenomenal. The people, the wives, the husbands, it just got to be a great thing. And I did that for an entire year. And then I decided, okay, a year was enough. Let me take, I stopped. And then a lot of other life things happened. So I didn't never really pick it back up. And then my girlfriend was like, listen, the same girlfriend, she was like, I'm going to set you up with this life coaching school. I went there. I need you to go, you know what I mean? And just take the class and see where it takes you. So lo and behold, I went, took the class. A lot was going on. I tried to quit 100 times, but I eventually finished.
Okay.
And then I became a licensed life coach through the diamond coaching industry through Her name is Ginger London, phenomenal teacher. I mean, just an outstanding job. And I was in class with several other people, and a lot of them have actually begun to start their businesses. So that's really how I got started with the life coaching business, just taking the class. Then once I finished and got certified, I just kind of, like I said, started telling people. And somebody said, oh, I got somebody who I need you to talk to. And that kind of how, it kind of generated a clientele for me. So like I said, I really haven't even put it out there because it is time consuming. And I do like to give my clients the necessary time, so that we can do what I say, evolve, you know what I mean? Because evolving is a forward motion. So I can't have 10 clients, you understand what I'm saying? Still keep my silent investor, still take care of my household, my husband and everything. So I kind of ease myself into it, and it's been working for me so far. So prayerfully, eventually, like I said, I'll be able to kind of like do marketing and really get myself out there. But I want to be able to give the people the necessary time, that it requires for each client. But I do love it. I love it. I love it.
So what do you think it'll take you just to take that final leap to just leave your silent investor just to go all out? Like, what do you like what's going to be your it that just says, you know what, let's do it, bump it.
I don't know. And so many people are taking that leap, since COVID hit.
Right.
A lot of people just was like, forget it, I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean? And I think it's the fear of just doing it. But the thing is, I really could do it and still keep my silent investor, because even the clients that I have, I see them after work, you know what I mean? It's on the weekends or after work hours, because a lot of them are working.
Okay.
So I think it's more fear than faith, because I believe that I have the ability. I believe that God has chosen me to do this, so it's not that I can't and I don't have the ability. It's really the fear of actually just putting myself out there and then being able to accommodate the people once the word gets out there. So I think that's kind of like my drawback, because I have support from my husband. My husband be like, well, do what you want, but I'm just a
So,
little.
so you mentioned fear. Like, what is the fear? Like, because in order for us to have fear, we have to know what we're afraid of. So, like, what are you afraid of that is stopping you from chasing your dream?
Oh, this not my interview, Mike. It's the
Well,
other.
we have to set up the, like we're having little.
Oh
We're
God.
going
So I'm
to.
afraid. Like I said, I think the biggest fear I have is putting it out there and then getting the response that I'm looking for, and then not having the time, like not having the time to really dedicate it to it. Like, so I'm in the process, like getting my web page set. I am going there, like getting my web, my son is working on my web page, and then, putting my bio in there. And then even like the layout that I have, like, so when you come to me, you have to do, you have your initial consultation, and then after we do your consultation, then I'm going to give you a questionnaire, because I need to know about, some things about you. Then in turn, I'm going to give you an opportunity to in turn ask me some questions, so that we can make sure that we're a good fit. Those are the first things that I do with reference to a consultation. So in doing that, like I said, it takes time. So I think my biggest fear is not, and people always say, you're not going to have everything together. It's just like, you just got to take the leap of faith and do it, and people, they really mean that. And that's how a lot of my friends got started. They just kind of like said, forget it. I'm just going to do it. And I think I was really leaning towards doing that. And then I got cold feet again.
Mm,
I did. I did.
I see what you're doing. Okay, Mike, I see you.
all right.
He's building up. We want
Hello.
solution.
So the cold feet comes from because you're afraid of rejection, or is it just like what? Like,
Get ready.
No,
You
I'm
ready?
not
like
actually, because I've had some clients
You
where
got
I've
this.
done the consultation, and well, not many, but I think there has been at least one, maybe two I did consultation with, and then they decided, oh, I don't think, it's going to be a good fit, or it's not what I want to do right now, or whatever, or they still have some other things going on. So I think, again, the cold feet comes from just really going out there and do it. I'm gonna hit you up, be like, yo, Mike, I just did it. boom, I'm out here. It's
Right.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So keep
Well,
praying for your auntie, and
most
eventually this
definitely.
thing is going to come to fruition.
All righty. Well, I feel like by the end of this episode, we're going to actually get you to a point where you just might just take that leap because we finally have our guest to join us.
Hello.
Hello, hello. We have Mrs. Tiffany Townsend and Miss Corinthia Hawthorne. How are you doing, ladies?
Hello.
All right, all right. So, Miss Tiffany with Ship Black, how can you describe Ship Black? Let's get right into it. Like, what is Ship Black?
Well, good evening. So Ship Black is Logistics Supercenter.
Okay,
Okay. And so we offer customer service, product fulfillment, the transportation piece.
okay,
Okay. All of the customer service and returns piece for Black-owned e-commerce business owners, along with the education piece, our Ship
okay,
Black University, because we actually not only strive to do product fulfillment, but to educate our Black e-commerce business owners so they can elevate their business.
okay. All right. Before we keep going forward, we have a little bit of a echo in the background. Can you turn down like your feedback or like your volume for me? All right, thank you. So what was your vision behind Ship Black? Like tell me your backstory now.
Well, my backstory. So I have 22 years worth of experience in the mailing industry. I'm a retired postmaster from the United States Postal Service. And actually, I opened up my own postal store in the spring of 2019. Had the vision of just butterflies and unicorns, and was just hit with a lot of Black-owned e-commerce businesses that were making bad shipping mistakes that were affecting their bottom line. Okay. And so I felt like I needed to do something to help them. Along with that, paired with what
Little,
happened as far as the summer of 2020,
little bit of feedback. Okay.
paired with the events of 2020 with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, and everybody was going around and said, everybody needs to buy black, buy black. God just dropped it in my spirit. You need to encourage them to ship black. And I'm like, ship black? What do I need to ship black? And it's like, our hands need to be the last person to touch our people's product. We need to be in charge and stirring the customer service piece when we're talking to our people. Okay, we need to communicate with our own people, meaning us, as far as the customer service piece, because I was a customer service supervisor. I was a postmaster. We deal strictly with community. We deal with individuals with problems, with issues. That's what my experience is. I have strategic plans on how to handle customer complaints when it comes to mailing. Okay. And so not only that, just the packing and shipping. People will bring items up to the front counter. They didn't know how to pack it. How do I pack this? What do I put this in? I'm going to put it in a big box. For what? It's a small item. Why is it in a big box? Do you not know about dim weight? Dimension times weight equals the cost of the package. And so it was just huge shipping mistakes. I had individuals saying, well, I made $300, but my postage was $500. So I had to shovel $200 out of my pocket just to make it. I'm going to kill the business. Don't kill the business. You need reassessment in your shipping. Okay, so that's when I created Ship Black University. So if individuals don't want me to do their product fulfillment and come to our Ship Black warehouses, I will educate them. I can't have a seat at everybody's table, but I can educate individuals that do have a seat at that table in order for their shipping and logistics department to be a little bit more knowledgeable to help these Black-owned e-commerce business owners.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I'm sitting here like in shock. Like I'm texting my son, get on right now. It's a lady talking about, because my son, he is a manager for, I can't think of but a company that does what you do. I can't think of the name of it, but he is one of the assistant managers for shipping out, helping people ship and do all that kind of stuff. So I'm over here like, oh my God, hurry up, get on. This lady is giving, and then you talk about the university and how you're schooling us to kind of gain our knowledge and understanding of what it is that we're doing. I think that's absolutely phenomenal, and you should be commended for that. Now, let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. But how old are you?
I am 46.
40. So you look fantastic, but I was just wondering because your sister, you understand what I'm saying, in the minority, and I was just wondering what your age was. And can you tell us at what point did you decide, like what age were you? Because you said you just started in 2019, right?
No, I actually opened up my postal store
In
in
2019.
2019.
Right, you've
So
been
I
in the business
had
for
a,
20 years plus, but you opened your store. So I was trying to see what like at what age, or did it just happen for you? Like boom, it fell in your lap, like God said ship black, and you just went for it.
No, so like I said, I was a postmaster for United States Postal Service. And after my 20-year tender, I was.
I don't know why we keep getting that.
It sounds like the sound is overlapping and whatnot. We might have to use headphones if you have any, so we can just keep the sound inside the headphones. But okay, but alrighty.
Do you have headphones, Miss Tiffany?
All right, let's try
Okay.
it.
That's what I got it. We got it. We have it now. So after my 20-year tenure with the United States Postal Service, when you're working with the federal government, all you have to do is put in 20 years and then you can draw retirement once you get to the legal age. So actually I put in my time, an opportunity came for me to open up my own postal store. And so I took the opportunities like, wait, I put in my 20 years. Now I can just sit, offer a great customer experience for my customers, do things my way here at Safe Chat. The Postal Service used to be the second most gathered place in the community besides the church. Okay, so I always wanted to get back to the basics. I always wanted to provide a great place for the community to come, gather, just have fellowship, but take care of business as well. And so the postal store was just that, what I planned on doing, just until I actually get to my legal age that I can draw my full retirement. But I kept encountering e-commerce business owners, especially when the pandemic happened before I even made 1 year. And so e-commerce just boomed during that time. And all of these e-commerce business was coming to my counter and trying to ship things, and they were making just huge mistakes, things that I thought that everyone should know. But I knew that because that was my career. I was there for 20 years. I was oblivious to the fact that individuals were not well versed on the shipping. Okay. Everybody didn't know it like I knew it. And so I immediately started helping. I even started taking cuts in my own business as far as my revenue, just helping these people to give them a break. And I couldn't continue to do that as a business owner. So that really stirred in my heart. Lord, what do I do? What do I do? And like I said, I was just strolling on social media and it was a buy black campaign, and everybody buy black. And God said, tell them to ship black. And I actually put it online. I said, guys, you need to ship black. And everybody was like, tell me more, tell me more. And I was like, okay, Lord, now you're responsible for this because I just put it out there. Everybody went crazy. And so actually I just have, been getting my downloads from him. I call it my Noah's Ark baby. Okay. So I'm building it and people don't understand all of it. I don't see everything, but God told me to build it and the people are coming. There is a need. The education piece is so great that these individuals have this Ship Black University. I'm actually going to start training them as well on how to open up their own Ship Black locations geared to help their community. So we're looking at having these be on MLKs all around the United States of America. Every community now wants a Black Wall Street. Well, guess what? Every Black Wall Street should have a postal headquarters at it. And I'm going to be training individuals on how to open up their own and serve their community as well. And so now I see that was the big picture that God had for me. You know, I was young. I was promoted young. I was a young postmaster. A lot of people that I was over, I went to school with their kids, but I didn't know the purpose that God had for me. And now I see what it is. And now it's important for me to go out and do what he has done and geared to help these people. So I'm unapologetically serving the Black community, and that's it.
I love it. I'm screaming inside like, okay, but let me ask you, did you go to college or did you just go start working for the post office right out of high school?
I've been working for the post office kind of right out of high school. Mhm.
Wow. And look at you now. I mean, talk about the favor of God. Talk about following visions. Talk about following your spirit and your heart and just taking that leap of faith. Mike, don't you say nothing. And just
I'm gonna
doing
cry.
it.
I just feel the spirit all over me, and I'm gonna cry. It's just because it was a lot of criticism when I walked away from my career. People, you know, said things about me. You're crazy for leaving that job. You have it good. You have a good salary. You know, you have 4 5 weeks vacation. You know, and I did, but God gave me that job, and so if He told me to give it back to Him, then I had to do that. If I didn't believe that He gave it to me, then why? You know, that job was not mine. He gave me the job. And so I gave it back to him, just like you give him back your 10%, just like you give him what's his. And so now just seeing what he's doing, I didn't know. It, you know, like I said, I thought I was going to sit in my postal store. I was going to serve coffee, some donuts and cookies, and just sit and gossip all day, and not bad gossip, but just see how people's dogs is doing, how their grandkids is doing, what Charlie got into this week. I mean, this is what I planned for myself because I've done my job. I'm working since I was 14, but I'm still on assignment for the Lord. I'm still on assignment.
Oh, that is so fantastic. Tiffany, that is just awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. And ship.
Yeah, now you made me cry.
We need a ship Black in Atlanta.
We do.
Yes, ma'am. We
Yeah.
need you here. That is fantastic. And I'm excited. I'm overjoyed. I know my son is actually probably working, but guess what? I'm be like, you need to go back and watch the replay and get in touch with Miss Tiffany, okay? Because that, and are you the one in Sugarland, Texas? Where is that?
We're in a suburb of Houston.
Okay. Oh, okay. Houston. Now we know when you say Houston, we know that. That I don't even know what to say. I'm just floored, Mike. I am really, really floored about this young lady right here and what she just took that step of faith and just did. And not only did she do it for herself, but you're educating you like, okay, I got this. Now let me educate my people, you know, and train some other people and so on and so on. And when you train those people, they'll train some more people. And you know, that's like when we always say going back into our community and pouring it back into our community. That is, you are to be commended. I pray God's blessings over you.
Thank you.
Manifold, like just I'm going to hear about ship Blacks all over the country.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
So before we introduce our second guest, I have one more question for you, Miss Tiffany. For
okay.
any entrepreneurs that are of the African American race and that are like of the female gender, what is that one tip that you give them to help them jump off the porch and just go out there and just chase their dreams and finally go get it?
I'm gonna tell them to, you know, to trust God. If they are faith, trust God. Trust God. It's my faith that has gotten me this far. Without it, I would have turned back a long time ago, you know. And so that's the one thing I can tell them is to trust God, because if they trust God, then they trust Him for being aligned with the right people, that He will send the right people along their path, that He will sustain them in good times and bad times, and that He has a great plan for their life. And so if He trusts them, all of those things, if they trust Him, all of those things will come.
So next we have Mrs. Corinthia Hawthorne. How are you doing, man? How are you doing?
Hi, how are you guys?
Hello.
Wonderful. And go ahead and tell us about a higher business service.
Okay, so IAIR Business Services it means IAIR. So it means passing down or an heir of.
Okay.
IAIR Services is generational wealth redefined. The way we understood generational wealth as from me growing up as a child has changed completely differently. So we have to redefine what that looks like. We have to say, hey, it's okay to start a business. Hey, you should be a business owner. So we teach how to grow generational wealth by starting businesses.
Okay.
This right here is the beginning. This is where it all starts. It's a certificate for each state. We bring them out and we say, hey, you have a passion, you have things that you want to do, you have things that you want to bring to our culture, you have services and products that you want to provide. Call us. We start up your businesses. The business packages, they include the LLC, the EIN, they include business credit. Those things are the most important as you start to grow your wealth. We teach you how to use the wealth. We teach you why to use the wealth. And then we show you the tools of the basics of how to pay yourself. What is payroll? You know, what kind of deductions can I take? What kind of bookkeeping can I get done? How do I keep my book together? How do I know what my profits and loss are? And we explain them. Most people don't know what they are. They don't know the terminology of these things. So we break them down and we teach them to you. And we show you how easy it is to obtain a business that is sustainable and profitable.
Okay. And how many years have you been in business so far?
We've been in business since 2018 and we've opened more than 200 businesses. They all range from LLCs, C Corps, S Corps. Some of them are also DBAs for people who are not necessarily ready to take the leap. But I'm a pusher, so I push you. After you start a DBA, you tell me your business name, we got a business baby.
It is. It is. And what are some of your main services that you offer for people who want to start up a business? Like what's some advice you would give them to like get them rolling?
You said, what's the best advice?
Yeah. So like let's say someone has a business idea, but they're trying to see what's next. Like what would be like your lead to them? Like how would you get them started?
Okay, so first I ask, we talk about profits. So a business is fine to have a name, but we talk about how the business is going to make money. So I will always talk about income. I will always say either you're going to have services that you're providing or products that you're providing. So we talk about what those are. We talk about how much they cost to yourself, and we talk about how to get them packaged and prepped for other clients to buy from them from you. So the first thing I always say is it's great to have a name, but what's behind the name? What is the passion behind the name? That passion is going to keep you up at night. It's going to be the thing that wakes you up early in the morning. It's going to be the thing that makes you drive. When you want to quit and give up and you say, I'm not making enough money, it's going to be the thing that pushes you further. So we always talk about what your purpose is. We go back and we talk about what is it that you want to do to grow the generational wealth? What is it that you have to give effortlessly that you can do with no help? Because that is what you're going to pass on to your customers and your clients.
And can I ask you something? Um,
Corinthia,
Corinthia,
yes.
Corinthia, let me ask you. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I think our audience needs to know your age.
I am 34.
34. And did you go to college, or did you just kind of came up with this idea, or did you study this, or how did that come about?
So my background is I'm actually a vet. I'm a military vet. I served for 13 years, and so that's where my foundation came from. My foundation came from military structure. So yes, I learned, I studied. It started out with accounting, and then I understood how to do tax preparation, and it started in that space. And then I realized, hey, more people need to know how to start businesses. So then I started doing the research and we started understanding how to put together the businesses full circle. And then we've developed a space of what do business owners need the first year. And so we put together the packages so that way you can focus on the business and not try to focus on the things that you're not versed in. You're not versed in payroll. So, first business owner trying to do payroll, yes, you only have one employee, but that's the small thinking. So we teach you to think further. We teach you to think 5 employees and above, because that's a true business. You can hire, your friends, your uncles, your cousins. They're doing the work for you. They have the talent. So we teach you those things along the way, and we put together the services and the support to make sure that you're successful.
So did you do like our other guest, Miss
So it
Tiffany?
sounds like you'll be giving me a call because I'm going to be your pusher. Sounds
Who?
like we'll be doing a call pretty soon.
Who, me?
You'll be coming
Yes.
to very, very soon. Yes.
Oh, girl, I'm a beat Mike. I'm gonna beat Mike. He has set me up today.
I'm a pusher, man. Hey, you
He
gotta be a
set
pusher.
me up. Oh my gosh. So because I was gonna ask you, like, did you just like Miss Tiffany said, she kind of just like, hey, why not? And she went ahead and did it. Did you kind of have that in your spirit, like, this is something that the people need. I'm just going to go by faith and step out here and do it. And then, because you said you've done, what you say, like 200 plus businesses you've helped to get established. So since 2018, I mean, like, y'all are blowing my mind. I'm like, what? Wow. So was that a step of faith you took
The
it, or
thing is,
you just knew?
yeah, I'm a follower. I follow the basic principles of our faith, and so yes, when he gives us an idea, he gives us a mission, he gives us the plan, he orders our steps. We don't always have the answer when we start off, and we teach that you don't always have the answer, you don't always have the clients, but when he puts that in your heart and he says you do this, we do it. We're obedient. So I didn't have all of the thoughts, and I didn't know that it was going to explode and be to this magnitude, but I followed it and did exactly what he said. And he said, you do this, I'm going to give you clients. You do this, we're going to expand your services. And I've been fortunate to connect with other resources that are of color, and we cultivate our clients together. So, we have a network of doctors, and Tiffany is actually one of those clients, and we cultivate and we send our clients back and forth. The clients that need start a business and they have products and services, they have commerce that can help you get your business set up with great shipping. And the beauty about it is, this is our culture. We're defining it because it's what we need for ourselves. If 2020 didn't teach us anything, it taught us that we need to be independent, and it taught us that we need to do the things for us. And we need to bring our levels up. Guess what? We gotta bring that level up because it's only us.
Powerful.
So, when are you going to be ready to get your business going and started? And yes, Mike did set you up. Mike is a pusher, and so am I. So,
Oh
after this
my
call, I will be looking forward to talking to you.
It's
gosh.
2021. It's
You
time to take that
will
leap of faith.
definitely, I will definitely be giving you a call, just to kind of pick your brain and kind of give you my vision. And I mean, this could very well be God pushing me right here, in this scene and in this setting. Because it's funny, because normally we have I think 5 hosts who host this show every week. However, today it is just Mike and I. And then, however, it has to do with 2 Black African American women who are younger than me, who are doing their thing in their own business. Now, God, what? Say what?
Go ahead, do it. Yes, yes, he
I'm
will.
like, oh my goodness. But I'm definitely encouraged, and I'm definitely going to get your information, Corinthia, and um, for sure, connect with you and see, where this is going to take me. This might be the bump or the push, that was just waiting for me, because I'm truly a believer in God's divine plan and how He just works things out. Like, you don't know who or which direction it's going to come, but when He sends it, you know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in that. So I definitely will be giving you a call after, not right after, but you understand, I'm gonna get your information from Mike and definitely give
So
you
you
a
can find
call.
me. I'm on airservices.com. It's AHEIR, and it's airservices.com. You can find me there. There you'll be able to see the packages that we offer new business owners that are looking to start their bookkeeping, their payroll, get their businesses set up. There's a lot of information there. We also give out free tools on how to get your business credit going. So those are very critical because we learned, from 2020 that credit is everything. If you don't have the credit, you sink. If you don't have the cash, you sink. So many people were looking to get loans and grants, but guess what? We should already have those funds amongst each other together to be able to help one another from a business perspective, business to business help. So it taught us a lot. It taught us to be more independent, and we just have to keep that same train going across the board and make sure that we're helping and bringing up each business as we continue to grow.
Because I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you how did both of you? This is a question for both of you. How did your business continue through the pandemic? And I know, because a lot of time, for quite a bit of time we were closed. Businesses were shut down and nobody could go anywhere. So how did you kind of maneuver through that process? First you, Corinthia, and then Tiffany, you can answer the same question.
Okay, so we just transitioned everything virtually. It was difficult at first because let's say we have older clients and they're not necessarily versed with Zoom or a virtual type of setting, but we transitioned everything to virtual. We made all of our client files, our client accounts virtual, so people can upload, we can share screen. And so we kind of did it that way because you didn't have to necessarily be in contact with the person to be able to get set up with the business. We can still share our ideas over a conference call. We can still share our ideas over virtual platforms. So it made it very easy because we already have these things accessible. The thing about it is we have them, but we didn't use them. We weren't forced to use them. We were always so used to just sitting next to a person or coming into the office and meeting. But it just made it different for us to work together. And actually, we actually made more and did more business virtually than we have in person because now you can broadcast everywhere. You can broadcast on social media. You can broadcast on YouTube. And so we got flooded because so many people realize I'm out of a job. What do? You start your own business and you start growing it while we're in the pandemic. You start learning the education, taking the time instead of taking those days and just sitting because you're stuck in the house. Let's go learn some education. Let's go start building business credit. How long does it take to build that credit? Do I really need 3 months? Am I okay with 6 months? We don't know how long the pandemic is going to last or end. So let's just get started with those points. So for us, it became something that we needed to do anyway. We needed to be more virtual, more versed. Hence this Zoom meeting, we're all in different locations, but we're all able to meet and we're all able to talk about the same thing, which is entrepreneurship. So it made it better for all of us to be able to do it this way. And now you really can't go backwards.
Yeah. Miss Tiffany?
Well, as for me, my postal store wasn't doing so well, but the product fulfillment piece kicked in and took over because the e-commerce businesses started booming. Like Ms. Corinthia said, so many people were at home who may have had a online store was able to put more into it, advertise more, do more, so their sales picked up. And so during the pandemic, I was inundated with business. It was just a service. I mean, think the whole pandemic, I didn't shut my doors, not one day with our normal days that were closed on Saturdays, on the weekends for the summer. We were open every day, shipping out products everywhere, all over the United States. I started sending care packages off. We made quarantine kits, or we would put toilet paper, paper towels, gloves, masks, and all of that during the pandemic. So it was great for us during that time because of the e-commerce space. But like I say, so many more e-commerce businesses were born, and it was a lot of people who still lacked knowledge. They still lack the knowledge on how to be successful in their e-commerce businesses.
And when you say e-commerce, can you explain that to our viewers? Because a lot of people don't know when you say that, what that actually means.
Okay, so I'm speaking of selling online. So many people, many of us have so many great ideas, so many great products in us that were birthed through situations. We may have dry skin and came up with a salve, just all kind of hair products, etc. So many great ideas. but was missing the knowledge and the shipping component. And so how do now I get my great idea to the clients? How do I get it safely in their hands without it costing me so much money, without it costing more for me to ship the item than it was for me to make it? And that's what a lot of individuals ran into. And then people want to just open up an online store. I want to sell this, I want to sell that. Well, you can't sell a big yard sign and you're going to sell it for $20 and it costs you $40 to ship it. That's not going to work. And so people also had to strategize because people were spending money going and buy things wholesale and it costs a lot to ship it. And they didn't realize that. So that's where I say I can't have a seat at every table, but I can train enough people on the packing and shipping and logistics piece so that they're more mindful, that they're more knowledgeable on how everything goes.
We have a question from one of our Facebook viewers. They wanted to ask you that what is some of your best advice for starting your business with little to no support from family and friends?
Miss Corinthia,
Stepping
and
out on
then
faith.
go to Miss Tiffany. Corinthia, you can
Yeah,
start.
stepping out on faith, calling me so I can be your pusher and your support system. I'm very good at it because if you tell me what your passion is, then it's like we start to think about ways on how you can make the money. It may not always be something that you see, it may be something that you can create. So if you don't have a support system within your family, we create one with other businesses. Other businesses will be your support system because you're providing them a service also.
Awesome. Miss Tiffany?
I have to agree with Miss Corinthia because my store has been open for 2.5 years and I still have family members, close family members that have never even stepped foot in my store. Okay. And so when my answer before is one, trust God. So I can't rely on man. I have to rely on God and building a community of network, praying, okay, God, align me with the right people. And all of a sudden you get dropped angels that will motivate you, will help you, will coach you, will be there for you through this journey. And I can say that that's a blessing and a curse because you don't really want a lot of people in your ear, especially when you're trying to navigate through these waters. For me, it's waters that I've never touched before because I came from corporate. So everything was always supplied for me. You know, we had our own marketing department, our HR, our safety department, payroll. You have to become all of that. And so having so many people with different opinions and trying to influence you to do different things, I can say it's a blessing and a curse. It gets lonely, but I'm glad I don't have a lot of people around me with their opinions. And that way I can keep that way clear and listen to what God and what he has to do and what plan he has for this business, because it's definitely not mine.
You had a question or statement? Miss Corinthia, raise your hand.
Oh, I was waving. She said great support system. I was like, hey, that's me.
Yes. She's a pusher and I love it.
Someone wants to know from Facebook, do you charge for consultations, and if so, how much?
The consultations are no cost because I believe in each one teach one. And I believe in what you give, you get back. So the consultations are no cost. You can have the consultations to freely express your ideas, your thoughts, what business passion you have. And then we start putting those things into motion. So if you want to just take a free consultation, the phone number's on the website and I can give it to you here. It's 346-439-7263.
Okay. And Ship Black does have a website, shipblack.com, and we do give a free 15-minute consultation to business owners just to get an idea of what they have, what they want. After that, we put together a whole plan for them for our services and actually what they need, a whole shipping plan for them, and then they start doing business with us. So if anybody wants to go to shipblack.com and sign up, they can sign up for whatever services they want. We will give them, we do offer the free 15-minute consultation with those business owners.
And are both you ladies on social media? So hair services, are you on, do you have IG, Facebook, and Ship Black? Do you have IG, Facebook? Can people find you there as well?
Yep. Find me at Ship Black Co. IG, Facebook, and shipblack.com. for our website.
Okay. Miss
And
Corinthia.
then mine is IER Services at Instagram and Facebook. It's the same.
Awesome. I mean, this is just fantastic. So, okay, I know we're going to be winding up soon. So, I wanted to ask, are both of you married or are you single? Is this and
Here
um
comes the girl talk. Let me back up a little bit.
I'm curious because I want to know how the hubbies, if they have a hubby, how they feel about
Yeah,
it.
Okay.
I am. I do have a hubby. I have a other half. He's my better half, actually. And he's seen me go through all of the putting together all of the pieces and understanding more and helping more with people and helping people understand how to grow generational wealth. So I'm off the market, and happily off the market. Don't be jumping in no DMs over here. Own your business.
I know that's right. But I was asking because you kept saying we. So I was like, well, maybe she's married. Maybe she has a family business or something like that. So that's why I was asking really. Because you said, so do you and your husband both do the business or is that solely what you do?
Well, whenever there's a family doing it, it's a family name attached to it. It's part of your wealth anyway. So it's not a separation of one person or the other. And we teach that. We teach, if you have a business, it's your family's business. It's not just yourself. So I say we because we is everybody that's attached and that is working together for the same mission.
That's wonderful. You have children, Corinthia?
I do. I do. I have a 4-year-old who is a complete boss baby. So he will be taking over generational wealth when he
I
gets there.
love it. I love it. I know that's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Miss Tiffany?
Yes, I am. I've been married for over 20 plus years to my wonderful husband. He's my biggest motivator, my biggest supporter. He's in here with me. People like, does he have a life? He does. He actually have a career. We actually have a trucking company as well. So that's what we do, the whole logistics. We do packing and shipping. So we have trucking as well. And sometimes he has to, lay that off, lay that aside and come in here when we get too busy and help me in here. And, you know, I say it's a lonely road because I don't have other family and friends. But if I didn't have my husband here with me, doing it definitely wouldn't be possible. It
That's
definitely wouldn't be
so
possible.
beautiful. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. It's fantastic. We might have to do another show and bring the hubbies on and let
Oh
them
yes.
talk about
Well,
how
for your show next week, it is a couple show, isn't it?
I do, but I already have the slot filled. But I mean, we'll have to do it. And we do couple shows quite often. So I would love to be able to do something where the husbands and the wives are actually working together to build, like she said, generational wealth. And not
Correct.
necessarily that doesn't necessarily mean like my husband has to quit what he's doing, but he also is very supportive of what I'm doing, and he'll stop whatever he's doing to make sure that I, can get what
Yep.
I can get done. Just like next Wednesday, I'm doing a couple show. He's like, I'm not doing that with you. I said, babe, I'm married 30 years. I'm doing a couple show. People need to see my husband. They know
Right.
he was like, they know your husband, not everybody, okay? But I just think that it's beautiful when our community, because they don't showcase that for us. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They always want to showcase the negative side, divorce rate going down, households where the father is not present. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's how they like to portray us. So when we have the opportunity to show our community and the other communities a different side, I think that that's very important as well. So
It
I'm just,
is.
I really celebrate both families here. I mean, I just think both of what you do is just phenomenal. And I mean, my
Thank you.
baby, y'all's Elizabeth is making my baby leap over in here. Okay. I'm just like, wait a minute now. This is awesome.
I love
It's
it.
just wonderful to be able to hear you, just to have this conversation with you and just be like eating it up and hearing, and the thing is, Mike, that I think that's so fantastic is they talking 2018, 2019, 2017. I mean, we're not talking 5, 10 years, because everybody say, oh well, you've got to birth your baby and you got to push it for at least the first 5 years to kind of build it. But like you all said, because of the pandemic, like that's what a lot of people say, the pandemic wasn't bad for everybody. All storms are not bad storms, you know what I mean? And so this pandemic, it helped a lot of people. Like if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have never took the coaching, I would have never went to coaching school, I would have never took the leadership course, you know what I mean? But because we were at home and it was like, okay, what do we do now? It was like, find something to do with your time, because I'm not a big TV person. So I was like, stimulate my thinking, stimulate my brain. And then when I got into
Right.
it, I was like, what the heck was I thinking? Acting like you. I be calling my boys like, kid you, ma, no. You did it, signed up for it, you do it, which they pushed me to make me gain the knowledge on my own, you know what I'm saying? But had it not been for the pandemic, I probably never would have done it. And so the pandemic has really opened up a lot of doors for a lot of people, and people need to understand that it wasn't bad for everybody. You know what I mean? And so I just, again, am just excited that y'all came on and shared your stories, because they are very encouraging, very exciting, and I'm looking forward to having you guys back. I might even be looking forward to being one of y'all one of these days coming up through here.
Most definitely.
Oh,
So I'm guessing
Yes.
this was enough motivation for you to go ahead and take that leap of faith and make that first phone call to Miss Corinthia Monday morning, or tomorrow morning rather.
I will definitely be doing that, Mike. Thank you very much, sir.
Most definitely. Well, definitely. One thing that I will say is I know that like I'm not a black woman, but I am an entrepreneur myself, and I will tell you it is kind of challenging, because I started my business back in 2013, Sheely Boys Production. I have an independent production company and whatnot, and I'm at the point of I'm tired of being small. I'm ready to scale, but I need backing and I need a team. And me personally, I'm already a client of Mrs. Um, Corinthia. So I can say, yes, she is a pusher. We was just on a Zoom call. She's like, all right, look, I just told you need to be making more money. I need to make some more money so we can grow. You gotta want it bad. So now I'm at a point where my passion just sets me on fire to where I can wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like most people, they say, oh, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 because I want to work 8 hours. I work 15, 20 hours. Why? Because it's something you have to have inside of you. Like you can't just try to say, oh, I'm gonna go do this, because the first sign of like God trying to test you, or like the devil trying to test you, you're gonna fall back. So you know what? I'm just gonna go find a job. And I had to admit earlier, I was on Indeed, like, let me try to find a job. But it's like, no, you gotta stop. And my pusher, my teammate, she said, no, we're not gonna do this. You're gonna keep going until you get to where you're trying to go. And you're gonna thank yourself later when you reach your goal. I feel like the most important part is you got to have a why and you got to have goals. And every time you reach your goals, you have to celebrate yourself because you're doing hard work. You're not out here going to clock in, getting guaranteed money. Some days you may not make money. Some weeks you may not be able to make payroll. You got to go and find a way to get $500 just to make your payroll, but you got to keep going, because on the opposite side of that vision, you're going to reach your goals and you're going to have that vision that God gave to you. And that's why I do what I do. And
awesome. Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, like you said, and my husband says that all the time, because he does have his own business. My husband and I work very closely together with his business. But what he says is that when you're a business owner, you don't get to sleep. You know what I mean? And you don't get to say, I'm going on vacation. 'Cause even when you're not there, guess what you're doing? You're still working. When everybody else is asleep, you wait. Because I'd be like, babe, what are you doing up? He'd be like, I'm working. Oh my gosh, but it's the reality of it, is that when you're building, you have to, there is no time for sleep. There is no time for breaks and taking rest until you get to that point. You know what I mean? But, and we always have to be in that mindset that we're building. And I like what she said, generational wealth. You understand? Because I would love, like, that is my dream, to leave my house of blue for either one of my granddaughters or one of my sons to run. Like, that's my ultimate dream, is to have a group home for girls. Like, that is like, before I leave this earth, I have to do that, and so everything that I do, pushes me towards doing that. You know, the life coaching, that's what I do, working with children. That's what I do, working in education, you know, in the high school. I love it. That's what I do. And so I'm always constantly thinking about that baby in the back of my head, my house of blue, you know what I mean? And so when you think about it, you can't just go to sleep on it, you know, like they said, you writing in the middle of the night, you get up, you take a note and all those kind of things. So I just want to say thank you to these phenomenal women who, woo, y'all done gave me a good headache, but a headache, like my head is like, okay, what you doing now, you know, but thank you so much, Mike. This is absolutely phenomenal. And I do want to say before we leave here, on next Wednesday, I'm asking all of you, all of our viewers who are out there, next Wednesday, I am hosting a marriage show. I have a guest, 65 years they've been married. Both of them are in their 80s. They've been married 65 years. This is going to be a great conversation. If you're new to marriage, if you know, want to figure it out, you engaged, please tell folk to tune in on next Wednesday at 7:00 p.m. right here on Our Point of View, OPOV. We're going to be talking to a couple who's been married 65 years, and I've known this couple so very, very long, and they're going to be a blessing to the show. And then I have a couple of other couples that are going to be on. So I think it's going to be a great show, great information, and it's going to help us to keep pushing towards staying married.
Most definitely, most definitely. Well, ladies, I just want to say thank you to the both of you guys for coming out and taking your time to come and share with the world just your visions and what drives you and your passions with your company. And just thank you for the motivation that you pass to my co-host here so that one day we can see that vision turn to reality and she can be living the life that she deserves. We all deserve to take our dreams and be happy and whatnot. So just want to say thank you, and just for everyone that's tuning in, just want to say thank you for always staying down with the OPLV family. We're on our 5th season, and next week will be our last episode for season 5, and then we'll be going into season 6 and going to season 7. So just thank you for those that stayed down since season 1, and just thank you for those that have just hopped on board and just doesn't want to hop off, you know. But like we always say, though, everything that you have heard today on OPLV was our point of view.
Our point of view. Thank you so much, ladies. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.